Am I live? Am I live? Am I live? I think I am. Hey, everybody. You know what? I think I need to spin my car around because of the sun. Woo! That sun is bright. But I'll take it. The sun is bright today. Woo! My eyes are watering. The sun was so bright, my eyes are watering. Hey, everybody. Yogi here. I'm finally having some lunch, so I figured let's do lunch. Chit-chat a little bit. Yeah, I know. It's almost 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Why are you having lunch so late? Well, because I've been, well, my last live pretty much kind of explained it all. I've been Ubering, not DoorDashing, Ubering. The problem is where I live, Uber is not very busy. So I have to drive to a different area to Uber, and that area wasn't that busy either. So I drove back to where I live because I actually have to go to a, there is a place that's hiring, and they're having a, what do you call that? Come on down and one of those types of deals. So I got to actually go up to Campbellsport later on today, and got my resume with me, and I'm looking to get back into the non-delivery driver workforce. It's been, oh, what am I having for lunch? Well, assorted cheese curds from Keimer in Watertown, Wisconsin. And Pernot's barbecue flavored, it says hot sticks, but they're not hot. They're barbecue flavored beef sticks. They're really, really good. Pernot's makes some really good sausages. They're located out by Hustisford, about half hour west of here. So, yeah, I'm currently have my resume, and I'm trying to get back into the workforce. I don't think it's going to be easy. For my age, I'll be 57 this year, and you know, when you're dealing with anxiety and panic attacks, that's a whole new ballgame. That was kind of one of the reasons why I was doing what I was doing, delivery driving, because you can always pause your deliveries, turn the app off, log on whenever you want, and if I was having issues, I would turn it off. I never really did. I think I might have done it a couple times where it was really bad, and I shut it down for a little while. But for the most part, I never really had to do that, and I guess maybe I used it as a crutch. I don't know. But I haven't been in the... That's not true. I did have a job for 8 days. I worked at this place in Jackson in the industrial park. It was a machine type shop. Now, I have like 30 years of retail experience. I have material handler experience, warehouse experience, forklift certification, all that kind of stuff. So, but I went and applied. This was, I want to say 2020 or 2021. I got a job in like December. I think it was December 2021. And I only lasted 8 days there because I was like, they were very, they kind of like threw you into the fire. Now this is like a machine type shop where they do welding, and you know, it's not my environment at all. I was brand new to it. So I never really knew what to expect. And like the first day or two, they were really nice and kind of cool. But by the 7th day, it had just gotten terrible. I mean, the attitudes of people there were horrible. And again, I'm new at this. You know, I worked in a different experience. I had forklift certification, but this was a whole new experience for me, being in a metal shop, fabrication type. And they were very unforgiving. They were very just mean. So one day they had like it was right before Christmas, and they had like, gifts in the HR person's room, and they called me in there, and they gave me a gift bag, and they said, well, thank you very much. And I was kind of thinking at that point already, I was kind of like, well, thank you for the gift bag, or the presents, the Christmas gift, but I don't know how much longer I'm going to last. And then by the end of that day, I had made my decision. I was done. And I had only been there 7 days. I felt like, if this is how you treat your new hires, you're not getting a 2-week notice from me. So I didn't give them one. I just sent a message over the weekend and said, look, I appreciate the chance, but this isn't the right fit for me right now. So that happened. But other than that, I've been DoorDashing and Ubering, Grubhub, and it's just getting to the point now where DoorDash isn't even profitable anymore. I mean, I used to make a whole lot more than I do now. Well, plus, last Friday, my account was locked. Actually, they asked me for my social security card. Well, I can't show you. I'm talking through my phone right now. It said they were asking for my social security verification, and they had just done this a couple weeks earlier. And I'm like, why are they asking me to verify my social security again? So I entered the information, and I hit send, and all of a sudden the page pops up again, and it just keeps popping up, and I'm like, what gives, So I called the contact. I contacted DoorDash help. And they were, if you DoorDash, everything is hidden from you. So basically my account's been locked since last Friday, and it's under review. And again, I have contacted DoorDash help multiple times, like 7 to 8 times. And at first, it said under my earnings, that's the only thing I could see right now is my earnings. I can't dash, I can't schedule, I can't see my ratings, nothing. But I can't see my earnings. And on my earnings, it says my account has been locked and that they'll notify me within 24 hours of a review. And this was going on Friday, never heard back. Saturday, never heard back. Sunday, never heard back. Monday, never heard back. Tuesday, never heard back. So I'd always call them. And I'd be like, what's the deal with my account? Now, last Friday, things kind of came to a head because I was kind of getting really frustrated because I was sitting in hotspots. And they have these things called hotspots where you're supposed to be able to get an order or have a better chance getting an order, which is not the case at all. So I'm sitting in these hotspots for hours, and I'm watching things, and I'm watching people pull up other DoorDashers and get their stuff and go. And I'm like, I'm 200 feet from this location. How come I'm not getting deliveries or orders? So I called them up and said, what's the deal? Why am I not getting orders? I said, I said, are you guys suppressing my orders? Valid question. Or so I thought at the time, not thinking they were going to lock my account. And, I said, I think it's really terrible that I've been sitting here for a couple of hours. And it was like an hour and a half. And I'm watching these other drivers pull up. They're not in the hot spot. I am, but they're getting orders and I'm not. And this has been happening for the last week. I mean, it wasn't just Friday. We're talking the whole week. So, I was like, yeah, something's not right here. So I called DoorDash help and I talked to them, and I talked to them that day probably 3 times. And was finally like, okay, well, I guess I'm done dashing for the day, because I actually did a live stream after that because I was kind of like, what is going on? So, and the problem is my account is under review and I don't know why. And that's the problem with these apps. For whatever reason, they can lock your account. They don't have to tell you why. And they keep sending me forms to fill out. But on my forms, it says deactivation review requests, but they're telling me that my account is still active. Well, if my account's active, why are you sending me reactivation requests? I can log on to my account. It's not saying that I'm deactivated, but I can't do anything in my account because it's been locked. And they're not telling me why. And so this is what these companies do. They'll keep telling you, well, uninstall and reinstall your app. I must have uninstalled and reinstalled my app 20 times over the last 5 days. Hasn't changed anything. It still shows up as you need to verify your social security number. And then when I do it, it says they're checking verification, and all of a sudden that box pops up again that says you need to verify your social security number. So I'm locked out of DoorDash right now. I have no idea what I did wrong. I finally found out today because I called them again. I've been calling them every day going, what's the deal? What's the deal? Every day that I'm not working, that's affecting me because I'm not making money. So, nobody would give me an honest response. Finally, yesterday, I found out that my account was under review. And I'm like, well, why didn't anybody else tell me that? The other 5 DoorDash Help people I talked to, And of course, you're dealing with people that aren't even in the United States. You're dealing with people who are in, I don't know, India, Pakistan, I don't know. They all have Indian accents. So you're dealing with these people, and it's just been, I think it's terrible what these companies do to the drivers, employees, contractors, whatever we're called. Independent contractor, I guess, is what we're called. But what a lot of these companies fail to realize is that you're not making yourself look good by doing this to the people that make your company actually work. Because if it wasn't for the drivers, DoorDash wouldn't exist. I mean, people can order food, but if you have nobody taking the food, you don't have an app. However, they don't look at it that way. They look at it as, if I'm gone, there will be 500 drivers right behind me getting in line. They're in line already behind me to take my place. So you're very, very, if you ever want to sign up, I'm sorry, there was some stuff on my, now I got it all schmutzy. Sorry. I schmutzed the camera lens. Don't do that. So, you're very expandable. If you sign up for these places, just know, can you make some good money? Sure. But you can also be kicked off the app and they won't tell you why. And they'll send you forms to appeal, but it's kind of hard to appeal when you don't know what you've done wrong. So there's that, So the DoorDash saga continues. So I've been looking for jobs over the last 5 days. Well, today I found out that I talked to DoorDash Help again today, and today I finally found out that it's going to take like 10 days, at least 10 days to review my account. Okay, well, why is it going to take 10 days to review my account? And if it's taking 10 days, why didn't the other 6 DoorDash Help people I talked to tell me that? It's very frustrating when your job, imagine going to your job and being told that you're under review, and you ask, you have the right to ask why. Why am I under review? But they won't tell you why. That's these drivers apps. DoorDash, Uber, they all do. I've never been kicked off Uber, so I wouldn't know. But DoorDash, they actually, I've mentioned this before, but in April of 2021, I was down in Florida. And on April Fool's night, I got a notification from DoorDash that I was deactivated from the account. from my account. I'm just like, for what? So I tried to find out why, and they wouldn't tell me why. And I was like, okay. So I started Ubering and Grubhubbing because I couldn't DoorDash anymore. Finally, 6 months later, they send me another email saying, oh, we reviewed your account. 6 months later, mind you. Oh, we reviewed your account. We didn't find you in violation. You can come back on. Okay. I don't even know what I did wrong. But unfortunately, that's how these apps handle things. They just, so long story short, my DoorDash is under review right now. I don't know why. I don't know what I did wrong. I asked them to explain to me what I did wrong today and every other day, and they will not tell me why my account is under review. So imagine going into your workplace, being told that you're under review, but they won't tell you why. But these companies, they can get away with it. You know, I found out a lot about DoorDash over the last 6 days, and none of it's good. None of it's good. So I'm having some of my beef stick for lunch, Pernat's barbecue flavored beef stick. Very good. Very good. So it's kind of pathetic in a way how they go about taking care of their contractors or whatever you want to call it. You know, they always say, well, thank you for being a Platinum Dasher. And I'm just like, you guys have a funny way of showing it. The way you guys treat us out here. But the problem is, if you leave, it's no skin off their backs because there's 500 drivers that are going to take your place. So you're so expandable on here. You know, there's really not much you can do. So I'm Ubering today. But Uber's not DoorDash, at least not where I am. I had to actually go to an area called Grafton, Saukville, Cedarburg, Port Washington, and I was Ubering out there. But I have to go to this job interview. Not job interview, like a job fair. So I printed up my resume and wish me luck. Because I'd really like to get out of having to do this delivery stuff. It's run its course for me. It was profitable. It's not as profitable anymore. And just the hassles of dealing with, am I going to get kicked off the app for not even knowing what I'm doing wrong? It's just, you know, it's a terrible situation to be in. But I'm going to go down swinging. So I'm just going to keep calling them every day and saying, what's going on? What's going on? Why am I kicked off? Or not kicked off, but why is my account locked? And then you're sending me a form to fill out that says I have to reactivate my Dasher app, my account. Well, you just told me I wasn't deactivated because I'm not. I can log on to my account. I just can't do anything. So if you guys are ever thinking of doing DoorDash or doing Uber, or you do that, just remember, you can get kicked off for anything at any time. It's sad that they do things this way, but they can get away with it, you know. DoorDash is one of those companies that think they're too big to fail. And I've seen so much negativity about them. I mean, class action lawsuits, just drivers. I've been on some Reddit accounts, and some of the stuff I've seen drivers have to go through is just ridiculous. And I'm just kind of done with all that. I'm going to be 57 this year. I'm too old for this stuff, man. So, the quest for a job continues. Other than that, I have a new members only episode coming out tomorrow. Very interesting episode. If you are not a member, it's either for Patreon people or a member on the YouTube channel. Please consider supporting the channel by purchasing a membership. There's as little as $2.99 a month. That's a bottle of soda. I mean, you can pay $2.99 a month for a soda now anywhere. So, but you could support this channel for 30 days, and you'll get bonus content. You'll get live streams, contests, all sorts of goodies. You know, So I have that episode coming up. I did do some filming on Monday. I usually take Sunday and Mondays off. I did do some filming on Mondays. I've got an interesting episode coming up probably in a couple weeks that I filmed on Monday about a little place called Techita, which is kind of like on the suburbs of the eastern Fond du Lac area. And there's a correctional facility there. And there was an interesting thing that happened in 1990 involving a woman named Laurencia Bembenek. So I got an episode coming out on that in a couple weeks. I got some more small town Wisconsin. I've hit a bunch of unincorporated areas because I was kind of interested in seeing what the unincorporated areas had to offer. I've done small towns, but there's a lot of unincorporated areas that have some interesting stuff. So I hit a bunch of those. I actually had a comment from a viewer that said, "Hey, why don't you check out a place called Elmore?" I'm like, "Where's Elmore?" I didn't know where Elmore was. Turns out it's 12 miles from where I am. It's by Campbellsport. And I'm just like, okay, I'll go check out Elmore. So I checked out Elmore. And then checked out some other unincorporated towns. So those episodes will be coming up. Because, everybody does like the big cities and all the big city stuff. And I want to do that too. I mean, I'm only 25 miles from Milwaukee. And that's our largest city here in Wisconsin. So, I think a lot of people like go to Milwaukee for stuff. But there's a lot of people that don't get to see what's on the, the side, the roads less traveled, the back roads, the country roads. And that's where I like to do things. I like to hit the smaller towns and hit the back roads and see what you're not going to find a lot of abandoned stuff in Milwaukee. Well, depending on where you go in Milwaukee, you'll find abandoned stuff, if you know what I mean. But to find some really cool abandoned stuff, you got to be out in the countryside. That's where most of those cool old abandoned buildings are, or just outside of the smaller towns, even in the smaller towns. But I haven't come across that really here. I do watch a couple of, if you enjoy watching the content on this channel, I want to give a couple shout outs to some other channels. Travels with a Wise Guy. There's a guy by the name of John Wise, and he goes around and he checks out a bunch of, he's from the Wichita, Kansas area, and he checks out a bunch of small towns, kind of does what I do. And out there's a lot more cool things to see, a lot more like ghosty type towns, ghost towns, abandoned towns, stuff like that. I've yet to come across like a really abandoned town. The notifications, stop. I have yet to come across a town like the towns that he comes across, but check out Travels with a Wise Guy on YouTube. That's a really cool channel to watch. Another one is Joe and Nick's Road Trip. I think they originate in the Dallas, Texas area, but he's driving all over the country. He's all over the place. And he goes to some pretty bad towns. I mean, not bad as in don't go there because of crime or anything, but he goes to a lot of these towns and you drive through them and it looks like a scene from a horror movie where there's nobody there and all the buildings are boarded up and stuff. And that's what I'd like to do. That's the kind of stuff I like to do. And at some point, I'm hoping my channel can become big enough to where I can start going farther and doing road trips like that. I mean, I still would like to do, one or two big road trips a year, but I just don't have the capability to do that right now. And it's a bummer, but such is life, I can only do what's feasible for me right now. So I kind of am stuck. Especially in the winter here, I'm kind of stuck here in Wisconsin, which is very hard to do a lot of filming because it's so cold. Like today, today started out really, really cold, but right now it's gone up to 23 degrees. So it started out at, I think, 2 when I started this morning. It was like 2 degrees. And it's like a roller coaster right now weather-wise. It's like we're going up and we're going to be like in the 40s on Friday. And then by Sunday into Monday, we're going to be at 0 for a high, 10 degrees below 0 for a low. And then it's going to fluctuate and moderate back up to like the 20s by mid to end of week. I mean, these aren't long cold blasts, but it's just like a roller coaster right now. And the whole country is going. Speaking of the whole country, man, my thoughts and prayers go out to the people in California. It is just terrible what's going on out there right now. And I'm hoping those winds shift and that things calm down. But to have to deal with that, this is nothing what I'm going through compared to what they're going through. And I feel really, really bad that they're losing their homes. And, you know, there's been a lot of talk about who's responsible and stuff like that. I'm not going to get into that. I'm just praying for the people that have been affected by those fires that I hope that they get some kind of, I hope they have insurance. I hope they can rebuild. I don't know. It sounds like a real mess out there right now. So, my thoughts and prayers are with the people of California right now. Other than that, you know, got some episodes coming up. I don't have any like long road trips planned as of right now. Just thought I'd get on here and update you what's been going on. I know a lot of people don't like when I talk about DoorDash, but you know, this is affecting me, and I just thought, you know, if people want to watch it and at least understand what kind of craziness you have to deal with these apps, that's what you have to deal with these apps. You know, it's a shame that this even has to be done this way. But again, you know, who's going to stop them? You know, I was talking about doing lunch. Let's do lunch, and I'm not even eating. Go figure. Did I mention that these Pernot's barbecue beef sticks are very, very good? If you live in Wisconsin, they're in the Hustisford or west of Hustisford, but they're available in a lot of the stores around here. Yeah, other than that, not a whole lot going on. Haven't seen any comments. Anybody got any comments? Let's take a look-see. I don't even know if I have them turned on, to be honest with you. If you want to comment below, I guess you can. Do you have any trips you're taking for 2025? I know my sister Chuckles is going down to, well, she's supposed to be going down to New Orleans in March. And her and I did a road trip back in 2021. That's back in my playlist where we went down to, we went through Illinois. I think we did a little bit of Tennessee, Arkansas, Louisiana. Ended up in New Orleans for about, I think it was like 5 days we stayed down there. Then went over to Galveston and then came up through Texas and did some of Route 66. We did, starting in Tulsa, and we did Route 66 we did all 13 miles of Kansas, and then we went into Missouri. We didn't do all of Missouri, but that was fun. I can't believe it was 3 years ago already. Man, I got episodes from that road trip. I have, and I didn't even realize this, I had like 525 episodes. I've been on here I started doing this March or April of 2020. And I've been going, you know, pretty steady until recently when I decided to go to one episode a week for the public on YouTube and Rumble. I'm on Rumble too. I'm an equal opportunity uploader, content creator. My stuff's on Rumble. My stuff's on YouTube. Um, but yeah, I was going pretty much 2-3 episodes a week. And there's guys out there that do it every day. They can afford to do it every day. I can't. Yeah. So I was going for like 4 years, 2 to 3 episodes a week. And when I saw at the top of the page how many videos I had, I was like, 520 something. I was like, wow, that's a lot of stuff. So, if you like to do a little binge watching, I have a ton of stuff. I have 520 something episodes that you can check out. My last episode I put up, I've been shocked. That was the abandoned with the schoolhouse. I was in Rockfield. That came out on Monday. Thank you very much. I am shocked at how many views that thing's gotten already. I just checked it this morning and I'm almost at like 500 views. And for a little channel like mine with only like, what do I have, like 1,550 subscribers or something like that? That's pretty good. So a lot of people are seeing that. I actually was doing a little poking around. I just want to see like analytics and stuff. I'm not a big analytical guy. But I wanted to see, you know, what's going on YouTube. So very, I don't check this stuff very often. And I probably should. But I went on there just to see like what my most viewed videos are. And I did this one in 2021. It was when we were in Louisiana. It's called the Rosedown Plantation. And that video's got like 76,000 views. Now, that may not seem a lot compared to other people, but to me, little old me, 76,000 views is pretty good. And the crazy thing about that is that video went crazy, and it's got like 76,000 views. Well, we also hit another plantation down there called Oak Alley, which is really beautiful, really cool. Check it out 2021 summer road trip, something like that. It's, you know, I do have playlists created. I don't know if that one's actually in a playlist. I might actually have to create playlists for those. I'm not sure, but I've been trying to do better at that, creating playlists for certain things like Halloween, or, you know, Halloween, paranormal, small towns. You know, I've been trying to do better at making playlists so people can say, oh, you know, I want to check out more of this type of stuff that he's done. So I've been working on that stuff. But yeah, that Rosedown one did 75,000. And then we have the Oak Valley one that I think was the very next episode. And that's only got like, boy, oh boy, a couple thousand, I think. And then we actually hit this one place called the Myrtles Plantation, which is huge. Everybody knows about the Myrtles Plantation. It's in St. Francisville, Louisiana. It's supposedly haunted. So a lot of paranormal people go there. And my sister and I rented a room for the night. It was very, very inexpensive at that time because it was still kind of COVID-ish. It was 2021, like, I'm trying to think of when we went down there. June? Anyway, so yeah, it was very inexpensive that night. We stayed in the main house, and it was fun because there was a lot of other people interested in the paranormal who were staying there, and they're like, "Can we check out your room?" Sure. Can we check out your room? Sure. So we're going in, checking out people's rooms and talking to other people, and then during the night there were people out on the grounds investigating at all hours of the night. It was pretty fun. So yeah, it's just interesting how that one video out of the 3 plantations we did, and Myrtles being at least I thought the most recognizable, the Rosedown one just went nuts. And I have like 75,000 views of that one. And I'm just like, wow. On the downside of that, I had a lot of, I had to turn comments off because a lot of people were commenting stupid things. Stupid things, racist things, racism things, and I'm just like, you don't know me, you don't But that's how it is on social media. You got to take the good with the bad. And unfortunately, in the age of social media, people can just hide behind their laptops, phones, whatnot, and just attack you. And it's just like, okay, I'm done with that. So I turn the comments off for the Rose Down videos. So, it's too bad, but that's where we are now in 2025. We're so divided, and we got to stop being divided. But we'll see how things go now. We got a different president coming in, and I don't know. So, wow, how many minutes? 35 minutes I've been yapping for? Wow. All right. I think I'm going to cut this one off. Thank you to everybody who's supported the channel over the last 4 years. Thank you for liking, for commenting, for subscribing. I'd like to give a shout out again to a couple of people. Maverick Hayes, Hank the Frank, Silver Mountain, Matt Pokey, who became my first YouTube bronze member. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. And my Patreon executive producer, Lori, thank you very much. And just all the comments, for the most part, they've been positive, and I really, really appreciate that. I'm by no means, how do you say, I don't have a face for you, for YouTube. And I may not come across in the best ways, but I really do enjoy doing this, and will continue to do so because it's something I like to do, and I just hope people are interested in it and enjoy it as well. And judging by that last video, it's doing pretty good. So people, I think, are starting to dig it. I mean, I've gotten a bunch of subscribers from that video, and I'm thankful for you all. And we're getting there. I was pretty down on myself for a little while, thinking, why isn't my channel growing as fast as some of these other channels I see? But not everybody's gonna grow as fast. Some channels blow up. Some channels, it's just a slow climb. And I'm looking forward to just hopefully keep climbing and not go off the cliff. Hey, Yogi, Hank the Frank. I just shouted out to you, Hank the Frank. Thank you very much. I appreciate you commenting, man. I appreciate all your comments and all the nice things you've said about videos. I still got to get out to where you work. I think it's Chissy's. I'm not sure. But I got to get out there. Maybe do a food review. Other than that, folks, just thank you very much. I appreciate it. And thank you for all your support over the last 4 years. Again, over 500 episodes. If you're looking for something to do and you like this content, take a look at some of the stuff I've done in the past. That's going to do it from this wonderful parking lot I've been in forever in West Bend, Wisconsin. Just kind of looking around. The crazy thing is when I'm not done yet. The crazy thing is when I moved up here, let me show you where I'm looking right now. When I moved up here, all this stuff here, Petco, Marshalls, Anytime Fitness, Home Depot, there's a Wendy's and an Arby's, there's a Texas Roadhouse over here. When I first moved up here in the late 90s, none of this stuff was here. It was all, I think there was a residence and a wooded area. And it's just crazy how much just this town has blown up over the last 30 years. I mean, it doesn't, 30 years is a long time, but it just doesn't seem like a long time. It just seems like, wow, all of a sudden all this stuff's here, but this stuff's been here for 15 years now, 20 years. And it's just crazy looking around going, man, I kind of wish I would have been filming back when I first moved up here and just had something to show you just how different and how much it has expanded here. But it does in every little, town that's close to a big city, I guess. We're not that far from Milwaukee, about 25 miles. So, and here's a guy that's looking at me as he's turning. Do I know you? Are you a viewer? Did I mention that I don't know if I mentioned this to you guys. It might have been a members only video. I was actually recognized for the first time. Maybe the second time, I'm not sure. The first time I was at a BP getting gas, and a gentleman pulled up next to me, and he gets out of his car, I'm pumping my gas, and I thought I heard him say, "Hey, it's Yogi." But I wasn't sure. So I didn't turn and say anything to him because I didn't want to say, "Hey man, how's it going?" and have him go, "Good." Like, who the heck are you? So I thought I was recognized, but I was in McDonald's picking up a DoorDash order, and this was a couple months ago. And all of a sudden, this gentleman walks in, he goes, "Hey, Yogi." And I turn around, I'm like, "Hey." He goes, "I'm a subscriber on your channel." I'm like, "Oh man, hey, thanks." It's like, cool, little West Bend, Wisconsin. I got a subscriber here. So that was kind of cool, running into him and being recognized for the first time. So I talked to him for a little bit. I didn't get his name, and I'm sorry. I was in a hurry to get out the door with this order because they're timed. You got to drop them off in a certain time, or else your on time percentage gets hit. So I was just kind of like, "Hey man, thank you very much for being a subscriber and supporting the channel. I appreciate it." Yeah, I don't think so, Hank DeFrank. I don't think so. I don't know if I'd want to be famous. I did want to be famous when I was younger. I played drums for a long time, and I was in bands, and some of the bands that I was in down in Milwaukee, we did pretty good. We actually I was in one band called Cyanide Ester. I know it's a weird name, but this was in the 90s, early to mid 90s. And we were actually nominated for a WAMI, it's called, the Wisconsin Area Music Industry Award, for, I don't know if it was best group. Might have been best metal group, because I was in like a heavy metal kind of group at the time called Cyanide Ester. And we recorded a CD, and it's, to this day, I'll put it on sometimes because it's just a reference CD. And I'm like, man, the things that probably would have happened if we would have put this CD out. We were scheduled to play at a place called Metal Fest. Yeah, true, man. I agree. I'd rather be rich and famous too. There's a festival down in Milwaukee that just started up again called Metal Fest, and it was going on in the 90s, and we were scheduled to play that, and we had a big argument over the set list. And for those of you who don't know what the set list is, it's what songs you're playing when you're on stage. So there was a big blow up on the set list, and we just kind of disintegrated and just never put the album out, and we broke up before Metal Fest. And it was kind of sad because we were on a roll. We had a lot of momentum going. I've been in a couple groups since that band. The most recent group I was in for 18 years or something like that, from 2003 or 4 to 2022 ish. But when I injured my arm in 2020, I was not able to play for a long time, and that's when I started doing videos. And then I was like, I like doing these videos, but for me, I live up in this little town, West Bend, which is like 25 miles north of Milwaukee, northwest. I had to go down to a place called Greendale every Friday for practice, which is it's south of Milwaukee. So I was driving like 30 miles one way every night, or every Friday for practice. And also door dashing. So it's like just in my car all the time, and I just kind of lost interest in drumming, and I haven't really. It's a shame because I've got a beautiful drum set in the basement, and I haven't played it. I think the last time I played it, I did an episode on this channel just to kind of familiarize myself and work on some songs and stuff. I lost the passion to play. That's too bad, because I loved playing drums for the longest time. It was a pain in the butt when you're when you're the drummer playing live gigs, because you got the most stuff to set up, you got the most stuff to tear down. You know, in most cases, you know, the singer has a microphone, maybe a guitar and an amp. The other guys have a guitar and an amp. And then there's the drummer with 14 stands and all these drums he's got to take apart. And then to mic it, oh my gosh. I mean, guitars, you can tune guitars pretty good. Drums, it's easier to tune drums now, but just the fact that you had to mic this stuff and then you'd go and play for 45 minutes to an hour and then have to hurry up and tear down. And it just got, I don't know. I kind of lost my love for it. There's a festival here called Summerfest. I played that a couple times with a couple bands. And yeah, just kind of lost the passion. Kind of lost the passion for the drums. And now they're just sitting in my basement collecting dust, which is sad. But I don't know. At some point I'll go down there and play. I always do. Just not, I shouldn't say I always do. Eventually I'll get down there and play for an hour or two and then go, wow, that sucked. And then I'll walk away from them again for another, who knows how long, until I play them again or sell them. I don't know. I've been thinking about selling them. I could probably get a couple $1,000 for it. I mean, it's a high quality kit. If people are familiar with drums, it's a Tama Star Classic set, Babinga Birch, and then I have all top of the line Zildjian cymbals, a custom. I do have some. I have a Wuhan China cymbal that's not Zildjian, but and then I have a couple splashes that are not Zildjian either. But yeah, I don't know. You know what? I've been yammering long enough. I gotta get back to what I was doing. I gotta start heading up to Campbellsport and checking out this job fair. So, wish me luck on my my job search. And DoorDash, you got issues. You got issues. All right, folks. Thanks for stopping by. Thank you, Hank DeFrank, and whoever else stopped by. And thanks for commenting. Again, members only episode coming out tomorrow. And then the next episode for the public will be on Monday. So until then, folks, it is I, the all-powerful yogurt. Take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. Be good to yourselves. Chissies, right? Hank DeFrank, Chissies? Is that how you say it? I'm going to get myself there one of these times. You're not that far away. All right, folks. Take care of yourselves. Be good to yourselves. Be good to each other. And until the next episode on Monday, unless you become a member, then there's an episode tomorrow. I'm out of here. Where's that thing? There it is. I got to stop it.